Hi everybody! For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ms. Albert. I teach grades 6 and 7 art at Danilac. I hope everyone is doing well at home. I wanted to share with you a really exciting activity that you can be experimenting with while you're at home. If you're a current student or a former student, you might be able to guess what I'm talking about. It's stop motion animation. Stop motion animation is a really cool way to make some really exciting videos. In this little tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use an app for making your stop motion movies that can be downloaded on your phone or an iPad. And I'm also going to share with you some really cool ideas that you can try at home. So let's get into it. Stop motion is an animation technique that's existed for over 100 years. Filmmakers realized early on that they could create amazing illusions by stopping and starting their cameras. Objects, clay, puppets, and even people can be animated. The principles are always the same. Place something in front of the camera and take a picture. Move it slightly and take another picture. You do this a bunch more times, and when you string these images together, the object appears to move. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go to the App Store and search for the app Stop Motion Studio. This is a free app. However, there are some in-app purchases that might be interesting to you. You can check them out later. So here it is, Stop Motion Studio. I already have it downloaded, so I'm going to go ahead and open that app. And this is what you're probably going to see. It might look a little bit different depending on how new or old your technology is. So let's go ahead and look at how to make a movie. So you're going to tap on New Movie. And here we have my little setup of my two little Lego figurines that I've set up for this demo. You can use pretty much anything. It could be no figurines and it's just a pen, or it could be a roll of toilet paper if you happen to have a lot of those around right now, or even later I'm going to show you how you could use your body. But let's go ahead and look at how to use the app. So this version of the app that I'm using right now is a little bit old, so yours is probably going to look a little different, but the features are going to be pretty close to the same. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is your settings tool right at the bottom here, and that is where you're going to set your frames per second. So frames per second is how many pictures is it going to show you for every 1 second. So right now it's saying it's going to be 5 frames per second, but we want it to be more like 12 to 15. My students know that if we do it in 15 frame increments, it's a little easier to do the math if you decide to do so. So what does that mean? That means it's going to take 15 pictures for my characters to move into the middle of my frame if I want it to be a 1 second clip. So let's get it started. Let's have my characters not in the frame at all. Tap to take a picture. And then I'm going to start moving them in a little bit at a time. Now is the important time to tell you about a really cool tool called onion skinning. Onion skinning is this bar on the left here. And if you move the slider down to the middle, what it does is it shows you a shadow of the last picture and a shadow of the picture you're about to take. So let's look at what that means. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture. All right, now I'm going to move my characters, and what you can see is I've got a shadow of where they were in their last position. The reason why that's helpful is, let's say I accidentally move my iPad or my characters and I want to get them back to their original position. I can do that, but this also is going to tell me whether I'm moving them too much or too little. So what you're going to learn from stop motion is that the bigger you move them, the faster they're going to go. If you move them in smaller increments, it's going to look like they're moving a little slower. So we've got our characters in the middle here. Let's say we want them to pause so that we could eventually do a voiceover afterwards. I'm going to tap on that last frame that I had there, and I'm going to select pause. And I'm going to tell it to pause for 15 frames, which is 1 second. All right, now I can see the little pause there. And the next thing I want to do is I actually want to just have them walk away afterwards. So instead of me redoing this entire thing and taking more pictures, I have a tool I can use. So I'm going to go to the very first frame that I want to copy, which is going to be the one where they're not there. I'm going to tap on it and I'm going to select. Where is it? There it is, select. Then I'm going to swipe all the way over to the last frame that I want to copy. And I'm going to click on copy. Now I'm going to go to that last camera there and I'm going to select paste. But what you'll notice is it's pasted it forwards again and I need it to be reversed. So I got to do an extra step now. I'm going to tap on that first frame. I'm going to select it again, go to the last frame, select it, and I'm going to click reverse. Now let's go back to the beginning and watch it. If you slide your slider down to the bottom, Up to the top is what's currently in front of your camera. Down to the bottom is your images. Let's press play. Now, let's have a look at some other really cool things you can do with stop motion. You can actually use your body or people to create stop motion movies. That's called pixelation. Here's an example I did a couple years ago with students who are now in grade 8. And here's one I made with my nephew of him surfing across the floor. Another form of stop motion is called claymation. As you can see here, you could use plasticine, Play-Doh, or clay to create your stop motion animation movies. You might also like to try what the grade 6s have been doing, which is a stop motion alphabet. But this one, as you can see, uses real world objects. And FYI, stop motion can be done by any age. Here's a video my nephew made, and he's 6.
Woo-oo! Ow, that hurt!
And here's one that was recently created by one of my students and just shared with me. She created it at home. Well, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed that little taste of stop motion animation. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to send me an email. And please make sure you share any stop motion animations that you make at home so that we can post them on Discover Danilac's Instagram page. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.